Hi everyone, here's your June market update. As you're probably aware, the numbers came out last week, and the headline numbers basically read that the GTA, the real estate market was finally up, which is kind of misleading because what the report was actually doing was they were comparing June 2018 to June 2017, and based on that they were saying that the market was finally up, and that's the total number of sales that were up, not price, not even price. Okay, so that was very misleading. Now here's where it gets even more confusing when you're just following headline numbers. Report came out today from CREA, which is the Canadian Real Estate Association. It's all of Canada, and it said that for the very first time that the national prices had averaged out and it was balancing out. Okay, which again is very misleading because that's a national number. It's taking into account markets in Winnipeg, in Nova Scotia, and everywhere else. You have to understand real estate is a very localized business when it comes to pricing. You have to look at local numbers. So I had spoken about this before, so in this report, let me touch on this once more. When you're looking at real estate, and especially for those of you that are actively in the market, whether buying or selling or thinking of coming in anytime soon, you have to look at momentum. And here's why it's important. The report from last week said that in the GTA, the prices, the real estate market was finally up, which is misleading. Okay, for June, that was misleading. The numbers came up from CREA earlier today, saying that the prices were balancing out, which again is misleading because that's a national average. Okay, now what I had mentioned to you before is that the prices in Mississauga, and again for all of GTA, topped out in March last year, 2017. If you look at Mississauga, the prices peaked in March 2017 at 798,000, the average price. Okay, and from March it dropped and bottomed out in January of this year, 2018, and it bottomed out at 631,000. That was a drop of 21% from the top to the bottom. Okay, from March 2017 to January 2018, it dropped by 21% from peak to trough. Now here's where what's happening, and this is why the headline numbers are going to mislead you. Since January till today, or till June's number, June, the average selling price in Mississauga is at $726,211. Okay, $726,000 average price. That is up 15% from January, from the bottom. Okay, so if you were just following the headline news from last week's number saying that the real estate in the GTA was finally up in June 2018, is going to give you a very false sense of where the market is. If you listen to today's numbers from CREA, the report that said that the prices were finally balancing out, it gives you a very misleading picture as well. What we've seen actually is since January, the market has been active. Market has come up from the bottom. It is up 15% to date. What you're seeing right now is the market is balanced out in a sense that the price is not appreciating at the crazy levels that we had seen over the last year, 2 years now. So I had mentioned this in my previous last 2 monthly reports. The market is balancing out. We are going to a more traditional market situation, and the challenge for the buyers as well as the sellers right now is not so much price. Price is always a challenge, but the real challenge right now is actually qualifying for mortgages. Okay, that has been an ongoing theme since January this year when the rules were changed, and it's an ongoing theme, and now it gets even harder because just yesterday the Bank of Canada increased the interest rate. I had mentioned in my last month's update that I thought they might hold off until September to see how the tariffs from the US is going to affect the overall market, but obviously I was wrong. So the interest rates have come up. So as buyers, your cost of borrowing on your mortgage has gone up as well, which again creates new strain. And the same thing for sellers. If the buyers are being impeded, you're going to have a harder time selling. So for the sellers, pricing continues to be absolutely paramount in this market. For buyers, absolutely get pre-approved first if you're coming to the market. If you're curious, the average selling price in Mississauga right now is 721,211. That's the average price. If you're looking at days on market, the average days on market right now is sitting at 20 days. And that's for all property types. If you break it down, semi-detached property is actually moving the fastest. It's taking about 16 days for a semi-detached property in Mississauga to sell. If you look at condos taking about 20 days on average to sell. Detached property is 21 days. Okay, so if you blend it all out, the average days on market right now in Mississauga is about 20 days. There are some multiple offers still going on. Houses that show well and is priced well, we are still getting multiple offers. Now we're not getting 10, 15, 20 multiple offers, but we're still getting 2 or 3 offers coming in on the same property if it shows really well and is priced right. Now what I'm more interested in is days on market, month of inventory. So for June, the month of inventory is 2.2. Okay, what that means is basically if all things stayed the same right now, no new listings came onto the market, we have about 2.2 months worth of inventory to sell. As far as I'm concerned, a balanced market is anywhere from 2.5 to 3. So it takes about 2.5 months to 3 months to get rid of all the current inventory. Okay, so we are in a balanced market, and going into the rest of the year, I figure we're still going to continue to face the same challenges. I don't see prices going up significantly or anything like that. So sellers, definitely price it properly according to your neighborhood numbers, according to how your property is looking, the upgrades in that. And for buyers, get pre-approved, figure out your budget before you head out. As always, all real estate is local. If you want to find out what's going on in your neck of the woods, please give us a call and we'll get you the relevant information. Thank you very much for your time. Take care.